That
Not
one,
me.
I guess. No? No.
No,
That's what this whole episode's about, is just our penises.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Our dicks are magnificent. They're just right. And no one can shame us for that.
Nope.
Okay? Okay?
Except ourselves when the meds run out.
Welcome back to the Storymoders Podcast. My name is Robert. I'm joined by Mike, and we are also joined by... Give me your name, because I've watched a couple episodes, don't know what you want me to call you. I was going to say Poogles, not sure
I
if that's
go by Happy. I also go by Michael.
Happy Poogles Michael. Michael, Happy
To be here.
Poogles.
Thank you for inviting me. This is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Happy Michael Poogles here is a content creator. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, right? Content creator. That's what it is.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that or like YouTuber, but like I feel like YouTuber has a negative connotation at times.
Yeah, YouTuber feels pointed.
Yeah.
Like,
But
feels like you're just launching into a deeper insult there. But
I feel like I'm still, drumming to the beat of my own drum, so I don't feel like I can fit into any category right now. But yeah, no, any category is fine with me.
Yeah. So Happy Michael, I fucking forgot how I said. Michael Happy Poogles is a content creator out of Chicago.
oh shit.
Right? And I see right to your right on the wall there is one Gregory James Miller.
That's right.
Is that the most recent one? The one from like this year?
Yeah, I met him. I think it was in April.
Yeah,
the little
night
show
with Greg
over
Miller.
here.
Yeah. One of us here is a big, kind of funny best friend, and the other one
That being
likes cars.
you.
What gave it away?
I've actually seen you in the chats a couple times before.
Yeah, I don't do anything at work most days. That's kind of, I gauge my work day on the kind of funny stuff. It's like, okay, it's games daily, or it's almost lunchtime. Oh, it's the afternoon game stream. That means I've only got a couple hours left to work. And then every once in a while they have other shit in the middle.
Because
yeah,
they are starting when it's 10 in the morning for me. So.
Oh yeah. How? Wait, what?
Because they start at noon, their time.
Yeah,
That's
but they're in
2 hours
California,
behind.
bud.
Yeah, and they start at noon their time, right?
Yeah, so then it would be 2 for you, not 10 or 8.
No, I'm before.
I'm confused. I don't know.
If they start 11 for you.
They start 11 for me, so it'd be noon for you.
10 for me.
No, noon. Aren't you
I'm
in
2 hours behind.
No, you're 2 hours ahead of them. They're in California, so 10 a.m. I'm 11. You're 12. And then these fucks on the East Coast, I don't know what they're doing. They have their own time zone.
Maybe I am just wrong.
There you go.
Oh, no.
There you go. Yeah, they're spinning back.
I feel like...
You feel like what?
Whatever.
That's fine.
Well, we are happy that you joined us today. We've got a really fun one. But before we jump into the topic, Utah Mike, which I'll have to say here.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? We got happy and we got sad. Sad, tell me about your week. How you doing, bud?
I mean, it's only Monday, and I am already getting the panic attack, so this is fun. It's going to be a hell of a week.
Hey, but it's going to be capped off by something really awesome on Friday.
You having a mental breakdown in your living room on
Yes.
stream?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah,
I thought you guys were talking about Superman.
Oh, no, I mean, that's me tomorrow. That's why we're recording this on Monday night instead of Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because tomorrow night I'm going to Superman with my spouse. I'm so fucking excited for it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love Superman, and I think James Gunn is going to knock this out of the park. And if he doesn't, I don't care. I'm just going to say he did anyway, because,
Right.
I'm an adult. I'm an adult who liked Mass Effect Andromeda. Fucking sue me.
All right.
So, sad. is on the verge of a panic attack, which, guess what your boy did this weekend?
Had a panic attack?
Goddamn right I did. Happy.
Ah.
How's your week been, man? What are you up to? Tell us a bit about yourself. We kind of, mentioned you're a content creator, but kind of give us the rundown of you, what you do, what you like, where you live, credit card details, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you don't want those details. You're not gonna get much out of it. But no, I just make I feel like retrospective essays. My most recent one, to try to explain what I do, because I can't even explain it to myself, is that I recently interviewed the director of Star Fox Adventures, which, if you know anything about that game went through kind of a dramatic transition of once being a N64 game under a completely different title, and then Nintendo kind of stepped in and made it their own game, made it a Star Fox game. So I'm kind of trying to just dip my toes in just whatever I can find most comfortable and most interesting, and that being Star Fox Adventures, a game that I grew up with, that I found very interesting, especially because of the story of the transition that it went to. Yeah. I managed to just email the director, got an interview, and it was like such a great time to just talk to people in the industry. That's what I kind of want to do with the channel and just grow it in a way. I also have a podcast that I do with my girlfriend's brother that we just started like a couple months ago. So that just started. But yeah, we're just trying to, see what lands and just talk about games in more of a, I don't want to say critical, but just a way that just acknowledges the industry as a whole and not just talking about games just as games. I kind of want to look at it from like almost a human side, and that's what my last video kind of was about, where I'm talking to the director about how their development process changed from a Rare game, because he worked for Rareware, and then it turned into a Nintendo game, and I found that interesting, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and we've got the YouTube page up here on screen, so you can see that. We're gonna have a link down below. Obviously, go there, drop a sub, watch the video. I watched it's about almost an hour long. I watched about half of it earlier today while I was at work, and then I had a meeting, so I wasn't able to jump back into it. But yeah, no, I got two. I think I got two about the interview part, and you guys were chatting and everything, and it was, first off, great work.
Thank you.
It looks really good. Like, it doesn't look like this is like and one of the first thing, like you're dipping your toe. No, it looks like you've been doing this for quite a while.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Much better than our shit, let me tell you that much. But no, it looks really great, and I so far have been loving the video. And I'd heard about that, like the Dinosaur Planet to Star Fox Adventures things, but I hadn't, because I wasn't a GameCube kid or like really a Nintendo kid, oddly enough, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I never even played Star Fox Adventures, so I didn't do like a dive into the whole history of that. So this is, really cool for someone like me, just being able to learn about Dinosaur Planet and Star Fox Adventures. Dinosaur Planet sounds like such a cooler fucking name, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I did an actual hour interview with him, and I kind of trimmed it down to roughly 15-20 minutes into what I actually put into the video. But within that hour, he goes into explaining also his inspirations for the game, because he actually had a big part in the identity of the game. And one of his biggest inspirations is from like Miyazaki movies and a dinosaur book series that went on for a long time.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it was a Jurassic Park.
Oh.
I actually have it right here. It was
Godzilla?
Dinotopia.
That was close.
Oh, shit.
It was very close.
That not quite like Steven Spielberg, but it was it was cool to see how a game like that actually was inspired.
Awesome. And what we like to ask our first time guests here, 2 questions. What is the first game you remember playing, and what is your favorite game of all time?
Yeah, shit. I knew this was coming. I think the first one is easy for me. It could probably be between 2, but I think I always just go with Mario Kart 64.
That's the first game you played?
I believe so, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's like the earliest memory I can think of a game. It'd be like that or Ocarina.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
my
Jesus
favorite
Christ, it's a
games-
64 game, and now I feel even older.
What would be yours?
World Championship Wrestling for the NES.
Okay.
Yep. And/or Super Mario
I
Brothers,
mean,
but yeah.
It's kind of weird though that I even say 64 because my family was kind of behind on generations growing up. So we're talking like 2002 when I was like 3 years old.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. So 64, I mean, Mario Kart 64 is probably the one I remember most, which is funny because, you know, with this new launch of the Switch 2, it launched with a Mario Kart. So not only was it exciting to have a new system, but, you know, I'm getting a new Mario Kart also, one of my favorite franchises of all time. So that's special. But in terms of my favorite games, look, on any given day, I will probably give you a different answer, but I'll just go with my top 3 that I always just cycle through, and that's probably Wind Waker. I feel like I always go with Wind Waker. I have a tattoo of Wind Waker. Arkham City.
Good.
And GTA 5. And I know, I hesitate to say GTA 5 because I feel like that's such a boring cop-out answer because it's like such a popular, you know.
Oh yeah, because Wind Waker's not popular. Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like
Come on, son.
Zelda is still kind of like in the echelon of like that's not as popular as, you know, these big AAA American titles that come out every year.
Yeah.
Wind Waker, especially back then with Wind Waker. I mean, that game came out and people were pissed off at that game because of the cell shaded graphics and everything. So, but
I mean, that's not why I was pissed off at it, but
and I had no idea why to even be pissed off. I had no knowledge of people being pissed off by that. I was like 3 years old.
I remember hearing that people were angry about it. And I was angry. I'm like, they haven't canceled this fucking series yet. It's all shit, isn't it? All those games suck. Every Zelda game, it's the same shit over and over again.
Is that your stance currently?
Yes, it is. All right, I stand on
Both
business.
Of you? No.
All right.
Not mine.
Not you, Mike?
No.
No. Sad over here
Robert's.
loves them.
Robert's dying on that hill alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Running up that hill, cardiac arrest. Fuck you. That's a
gonna be
Kate
a sad
Bush
death.
reference.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, no, I think there have been a few people that we've asked where their favorite game has been a Zelda game. I think Ocarina comes up a lot, either that or Majora's Mask, whichever one people like more. It's typically, I think, Ocarina of Time, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Sad, what's your favorite game?
Favorite game? Final Fantasy VII.
Which one?
The
That's a
original
valid
Final Fantasy
question.
VII.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my head. I was like, damn,
There's few.
Which
Yeah,
one?
no,
2? Crisis Core?
Ooh, Advent Children?
Advent Children? The film? The motion picture?
My...
Children Within?
But yeah, no, Final Fantasy VII, the original 3-disc PS1 beast.
Which now fits onto a phone.
Isn't that
Yeah.
wild?
Like,
It's... Yeah.
You know what's crazy? That when I was doing the research for the video that I did for Star Fox Adventures, I was looking up like Game Informer articles and whatnot, just pieces that anyone was writing up about the demo or anything of the time leading up to the release of that game. And there was one piece that someone wrote. I think it was Game Informer, where they called it a 512 megabit monster. They're like, they were blown away because it was 512 megabits. And I'm like reading it now.
It's the biggest game
oh
ever made.
God.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, this is like, you can't play this game without that expansion. Because originally it was going to be on the N64. Yeah, and they were blown away by 512 megabytes. Megabytes.
There's more storage in this beer can at this point than there was in that. Like, actually, is there a QR code on here? Because that might not be wrong. I don't know. I'll research beer later. It's fine. That's a different podcast.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know. Is there a ratio? Can we find a website? Is there a megabit to ounces ratio?
I'm gonna go with 5-1. Okay.
Okay.
That's just Aquabats math. You know,
So for every megabit, it's 1 ounce, or 5 ounces of beer.
5 ounces of beer is 1 mega. Yep. Or yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The ratio of girls to guys is 5-1. It's a pool party. It's a cool pool party. Okay.
Got it.
That's an Aquabats reference. Once again, you're a child, so you probably don't know who they are. You ever heard of Yo Gabba Gabba?
Yes.
Yep, Aquabats. There we go. Same guy. And the Aquabats are like a kids band too. I don't know what. That's a tangent. We don't need to go on that tangent, even though the Aquabats are fucking rad. But Aquabats.
The Wiggles.
Yeah, the Wiggles, aren't they Australian?
I don't know.
They
thought
are.
they were. Are they?
They are, and at one of Australia's biggest theme parks, they had a dark ride that just wouldn't die. It kept getting retooled, and eventually, like, no, we're done here.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have heard about that.
Oh,
They just won't die.
Nope.
Man.
They just keep recasting too.
Yeah,
keep
they
on
just
getting
keep
new people.
reloading that.
It's
I
like
had
the
a-
Power Rangers.
I had a perfect segue into the little ad that I was going to play. Because I mentioned the Aquabats, and now we're talking about the Wiggles. So we're going to rewind to the Aquabats and let you guys know that your boy, this guy right here, has another
the
podcast
Aquabats.
coming out next week when this drops on July 15th. Tuesday, July 15th is episode 1. It is a music podcast that I'm doing with our good friend Luke Gage over from Neon Pocket Dimension, where every episode we're going to talk about one band or artist, go through their entire discography, and make a playlist with one song from each of those albums and everything. First episode is on Blink 182. And the reason that ties into the Aquabats is because that's where Travis Barker was, I guess, found by Blink, if you want to say it that way. But we made a little trailer for the show that we are going to put in right now. Hey there, everybody. My name is Robert, a.k.a. Mr. Hawks.
And my name is Gage, aka Luke Shot First. And this is
The
the
Discograph
Discograph
Podcast.
The
Discograph Podcast.
The
The
Discograph
Discograph Podcast.
The
The
Discograph
Discograph
Podcast.
Podcast. I think we got that one. Now, Gage, for those who don't know, which is probably everybody, what is a discograph?
Well, our term
Okay, patent pending.
is a playlist composed of one track from each of a band or artist's albums/side projects in chronological order as a way to highlight their growth throughout their career.
Or 2, a musical graph using one band or artist's entire discography.
We're incredibly excited to bring you this show where we deep dive into the catalogs and careers of some of the most prolific people in modern music.
Speaking of which, let's take a look at the lineup for Season 1.
We have Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age and Caius fame, and the Desert Sessions, them Crooked Vultures, you get the idea.
Butch Walker, a lot of solo stuff, Marvelous 3, and a little side project called 1969 is going to be in there. If you haven't heard of it, you will soon.
We got Big T.H. Tom York coming in with lots of good stuff in there as well.
Special one, Busted versus McFly. Now we know that we just said this is one band or artist's entire discography, but these two bands are so linked up that they're actually touring together this year in a Busted versus McFly tour. So we figured let's do a fun episode with all of their stuff. Let's break our one rule. Fuck Batman.
And then we're doing Dave Grohl, the master of modern rock and roll himself.
And our inaugural episode, which is going to be up pretty soon, Blink 182.
So sit back,
Drop out.
and tune in to our journey through music with
the Discograph Podcast. Only at youtube.com/@Discograph Podcast.
Thanks for watching.
So, what are we here to talk about today? Sad, can you tell us?
Well, let me back up here. So something came out at the beginning of last month that a lot of people were excited about, and that was that weird ass Mountain
Megan
Dew flavored
2.0.
Little Caesars. Either or.
Okay.
But we were talking about neither of those. My friends here have been enjoying the Switch 2 for about a month now.
Hey.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that Chelsea logo just right there. There's one on this side of the room, too. I actually have my Joy-Con 2s on the little thing here. I use this only to turn the system on.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You
have the Pro.
I have the Pro. Yeah, I have the Pro 1, so I can't turn the console on with that. So I have this next to the Pro 1 controller. Yeah, no, you can't. You can turn it off and make it go to sleep, but if you press the home button or whatever, it doesn't turn the console on.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have this. I press the home button. It comes up on the screen, and then I just turn on the Pro 1 and get that working.
I also have the Pro 1 controller that I only use.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I have turned it on with it or not.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
That wonderful, amazing moment.
Yeah, so that is the Switch dose, and that's what we are here talking about today with Happy. Happy and I both have Switch 2s. Mike, unfortunately, does not yet, at least.
Yeah.
But
Don't worry,
he's working on it.
I'm working on many things that are going to be very, very painful, and then maybe I can get a Switch 2.
Yeah. So we've got Happy today to basically do like a 1 month kind of review of how the two of us are feeling about the Switch 2. So we can just kind of dive right into it. Overall, what are your just overall thoughts on the Switch 2 and the launch and everything? That's for Happy, not Sad. Sad doesn't have a Switch 2. So
I'm just here moderating a panel that I don't have questions for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's definitely a noticeable jump from the Switch 1 that does warrant the want, I'll say, for a Switch 2. I don't want to necessarily say need right now, because the library that we have is the same that we have for the Switch 1. The only thing that you're missing out right now is Mario Kart World. Aside from that, everything that comes with the Switch 2 right out the box is very, very apparent the moment that you pick it up. The screen is bigger. The Joy-Cons are bigger as well. The UI flows so nicely. Like, there's just so many small things about the Switch 1 that, 7 years later really made it feel its age. Like navigating the store, and you're sliding through the store, and it's just taking forever for the screen to catch up with what you're trying to scroll to.
You
just
go down,
things
and
like
then
that.
3-4 seconds later, it goes down.
Yes.
And then it just highlights
forever.
a fucking hentai game, and you're like, no, that's not what I want. And then somebody walks in the room, and they're like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, and
you're like, that's not the hentai game I want. Come on, don't judge me right now.
It's that, and then right next to it is just Car Simulator.
Yeah.
For $1.99. There's just the eShop is a story for another day. That shop is a disaster. But yeah, I think initially it feels great. I think it kind of makes it feel less like a toy that I kind of got with the Switch 1. And it feels more durable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just as just coming from just initial impressions of holding the thing in your hand, it just feels it's got like a nice weight. The Joy-Cons, the snapping. Can we talk about the snapping for a second?
God, the snapping's beautiful.
It's if you thought sliding a Joy-Con at all was satisfying, snapping them in it's a game changer. And honestly, I was worried about whether or not this was actually going to be a good enough magnet to latch on. And I was also worried about this little piece right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, the little nub. And I think when we did an episode that was kind of like our first thoughts once it was fully revealed. The whole, hey, look at this video showing off every aspect of it, but not the price, because fuck you. Why would you want to know that?
Of course, yeah.
I think what the three of us, because I believe we had our friend Varum Dex on, or at least I was like, I'm afraid of that little nub. That's the kind of breaking point that I'm most worried about with this thing. That looks so like it's going to be so easy to snap off. But now, once you snap the controller in, and I think the magnets obviously are, they're guiding everything there. And let's see how this comes through. Not too well. That was better. That was a better one.
If you say so.
Yeah, but like it's having it now, I'm a little less worried about it. But that still does seem like a potential pain point down the line.
Maybe if you give it to a kid one day, you might have to, you might get a little...
my nephew's not touching this thing. Okay. No.
But I don't have any fear snapping one into place that it's going to just somehow just combust and just fall right off. It feels like when you even get close, I mean, they are magnets after all, but when you get close, it feels like that controller knows exactly what it's doing, and it's snapping in right where it needs to go.
Yeah. Once, like I said, I held it in my hand and I, took them out and put them in. It does. I can see why they weren't necessarily worried about like, hey, this is the new design. It's going to be this magnet thing. It's going to snap on. It's going to have this almost exposed nub that it connects to, but also that nub is flush with the Switch itself, as opposed to, I think it'd be a problem if it was kind of poking out here, but it's practically flush right here. Yeah. So the overall design feels solid, I would say. Now, Happy, are you a dock player or are you a handheld player?
I think the majority of my time has been in handheld. I haven't made any content with any of the games, so that would probably be the only time I would actually put it in my dock. Or if I'm playing with other people on the big screen. But besides that, if I'm playing by myself, it's probably going to be in my hands.
Yeah, I'm a docked person. I don't know why I'm not a big handheld. Even on the Switch, we had a Switch Lite at the house for a little bit. That was my spouse's that he used all the time, and I think even he, like when we got it, was like, oh, that's gonna be perfect for me, because I just want to be able to play it here, and then it started having like fan issues, and we're like, oh, we can get it replaced, and he's like, what if we just get like a normal one and then I can have it docked as well? So the handheld thing, it works, and I've tried playing with it in handheld, and it definitely feels more comfortable than the Switch 1. Like, I'll tell you that much. These are adult hands. It feels great. But the screen, beautiful. And it seems to like you said, run much better. In the store itself, that was one of the first things I did when I did like an unboxing. I did a live stream of me in the GameStop parking lot at the midnight release, and then went home and did like a little unboxing, and then got it all connected to my TV and like and had that up. And then I was like, the first game that I'm going to play on this thing is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. And I'm not a fucking liar. That was the first game that I goddamn played. That should have been free. Let me tell you that much.
Definitely. But there's a couple of fun mini games in that, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, that game is just, there's way too much text. That game's a disaster.
It's all just, I get what they're going for with it. I totally do. And it's, for what it is, it's great. You know, you wanna show off what the new Switch is. You want to show off these new features. You want the magnets and the bigger screen and the game chat and everything else. Cool. Let's make an interactive way to tell people about it. Why did we have to spend $10? We didn't have to, but
we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. But like, just fucking put that in there for free and just be like, hey, go check it out. Go look at this new shit. Have fun, you know, and then play Mario Kart World because it's the only Switch 2 game that there fucking is right now. You know. So yeah,
they
console
probably actually wanted to make Mario Kart World $90, but they're like, that might be pushing it too far. So let's instead make it $80, and then we'll sell the $10.
Charge 10 for this thing.
Yeah.
That'd been fucking hilarious if they're like, it's $90, but it comes with Welcome Tour. You're like, why?
Yeah.
We don't need this.
See, and that's even more wild when you consider that the Mario Kart bundle is $30 less than what the Switch and the game would cost. It makes no sense. Why is the $10 nothing of a game $10 when you're selling a bundle that is saving everyone $30 for the game that everyone wants to play?
Yeah.
It
Legitimately,
makes no sense.
without Mario Kart World, what is...
I'm not buying one.
What's the lineup? What's the launch lineup? You know what I mean?
You got Bravely Default.
Okay, remaster.
And then you got Deltarune 3 and 4.
Technically
Chapter
new,
3 and 4.
but it's also coming out to other shit. Like, it's not...
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's... We're long past the days of... like, just incredible launches for consoles. Now it's more about just getting the console out and then building the library.
Right. And I will say that can seem frustrating right now, just being only a month in, but I do kind of appreciate the steps that Nintendo is making towards the launch lineup, because the fact that we're getting a 3D platformer and what it looks like a huge 3D platformer a month after the launch, and then we still have frustratingly 4 Switch games that don't have release dates but are still technically 2025, at least makes that short launch lineup look like you're looking forward to something every month, possibly, because we still have Dragon Drive, you got Pokemon Za, you got Metroid Prime 4 and Kirby Air Riders all scheduled for this year. So if I can play Mario Kart, if I can get a month and a half out of Mario Kart World and then move on to the next game, and then I get like a month out of that and then move on to the next one, should they announce that we are actually getting an August game, then I feel like that's the smartest thing that you could do for a launch lineup.
Now, before I counteract or counter react to that, Sad, can you do me a favor? And also, if you don't want me to call you Sad anymore, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
What
do you need?
I thought it was silly. Can you look up the launch lineup for like the previous Nintendo consoles?
Yeah.
Really quick, because while I completely understand where you're coming from. You know, it's great. We get Mario Kart World now, and then in a month we're getting, you know, here in a couple weeks now we're getting Donkey Kong Bonanza, which looks fucking awesome, by the way. And then, you know, we're getting Dragon Drive, and then we're getting Metroid, and then we're getting Pokemon. That's awesome. I think for me, when it comes to like maybe a disappointing launch lineup, is that even like the GameCube and stuff, and I can't really remember the Switch launch lineup that well. But I'm thinking like most of GameCube, you had a great first-party game, but then you had some really, really great exclusive third-party games that dropped at the same time. And the Nintendo lineup, yeah, incredible. We're going to get new Nintendo games like maybe once a month for the rest of the year. Hell yeah, that's perfect. But the third-party support almost seems like there are a lot of companies that didn't really like putting their games on the Switch because it wasn't powerful enough are kind of holding back, being like, okay, let's see what this thing can do first, and then we can do stuff. I mean, you've got at least one big thing announced with what is it, the Dusk Bloods, the FromSoft game, which I was very excited for, and then they started talking about it, and I was like, yeah, never mind. But like that's a big third-party game that obviously is not a launch title, but it is something to look forward to that's only on the Switch 2, or at least only on the Switch 2 for the beginning. And I feel like the launch lineup here, especially you take out Mario Kart World, it's remasters and it's things that were on previous consoles and other consoles for a long time. Like I'm looking at I got 2 games with the launch. It was Mario Kart World, and then I bought Yakuza 0. What is it? Director's Cut. Okay. Yakuza 0 is, I believe, a PS3 game? I think? I don't think it's a PS2 game. I think this is PS3. And yeah, it's remastered. This has an English dub, which for me is perfect because I don't like to read all that much. It's a brand new English dub also. A little weird because 2 of the main... I mean, Kiryu is voiced by the dude who voices him in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And then his best friend in the game is voiced by the dude who is Ichiban Kasuga. But it's not Ichiban Kasuga, so it's just weird because I'm like, I know that voice. Do something else. Come on, buddy. But it's great. But yeah, this is not, a new game. It's just not. It's also a game key card, which we'll go into later.
We'll get into that in a minute.
But Sad, do you have that? Do you have like the GameCube launch lineup possibly?
Yeah, I've got the GameCube, the Wii, the 64, and the original Switch.
Okay.
So, is there anyone in particular you want me to get into?
Let's look at the Switch first. The original Switch.
All right, the original Switch on what is that? March 3rd, 2017 for Australia, Europe, Japan, and North America. These were your launch titles. We had 1-2 Switch, I Am Setsuna, Just Dance 2017, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Shovel Knight, Skylanders Imaginators, Snipper Clips, Super Bomberman R, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
And that, once again, take out Zelda.
Yeah, I remember I got Snipper Clips because I needed something else to play because it was Breath of the Wild, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually,
Snipper Clips was fun.
before we do that, the Switch also launched with Wii Sports. Or no, that was a Wii. Fuck me. Never mind. I'm a dumb piece of shit.
Yes,
Don't listen to me. But you got Snipper Clips as well. Yeah.
Yes,
and Snipper Clips was a good time, but it felt like, and no disrespect to that game, it's a great game, but that feels like more like a tech demo game. But it was chock full of content, so I'm not trying to diss it.
I mean, that's what 1-2 Switch was as well. It was the mini games, but it was more of like a. It was like, hey, look how the Joy-Cons feel. You can feel the ice cubes. It's like cool. But it's still there's a game.
I did not pick that one. I have not played 1-2 Switch at all.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
I never went back to it. I never decided to pick it up. That felt like would that launch too?
Is that launch day or launch window?
Launch day.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So then while we're here, the Switch Lite released with Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, probably one of the favorite.
Is like the remake there?
Yeah, like the cartoony remake.
Yeah.
That game was awesome. And Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah. And I mean that's just like a different model, so it's not
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting that they did. So the Switch Lite got a Zelda game, albeit a remake, remaster, what have you. The OLED, there was Lego Marvel Superheroes, Tetris Effect Connected, and Metroid Dread.
I was there for
it
that.
did, yeah. So like it did get a tentpole franchise iteration.
For like the Lite and the OLED.
Yep, yeah. So each of them had something. I mean, Lite had a Zelda game, OLED had a Metroid game. Let's see.
Hey, let me ask a question that nobody in the world has ever asked before. What did the Wii U launch lineup look like?
Oh, I can find that. Give me just 1 second here. The Wii U launch titles in North America. Man. All right, there are 22. I'm just going to rifle them off.
Okay.
We have Assassin's Creed 3, Ben 10 Omniverse, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Darksiders 2, Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2, EA Sports FIFA 13, EA Sports Madden NFL 13, Game Party Champions, Just Dance 4, Mass Effect 3 Special Edition, New Super Mario Bros. U, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, Nintendo Land, Rabbids Land, Sing Party, Skylanders Giants, Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Transformers Primed, Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper, Your Shape Fitness Evolved 2013, and Zombie U.
Okay. I've heard Zombie U is actually not terrible if you take away like the Wii U aspect of it.
Yeah.
Not
bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. Now, one
all
more.
Those games were... most of those games were like...
Yeah.
The better version of them were on PS3 and Xbox 360. So...
Yeah.
And this, at least for Yakuza 0, I feel like... And you can, anybody out here who has fully played the older ones, because I've played a bit of Yakuza 0 on like the 360, or not the 360, on the Xbox, when it was on Game Pass. I probably played about 3 or 4 hours, but once again, there was no English dub, and I'm a child, okay? I can't be expected to read everything, all right? I need to hear things because I'm dumb. But, I mean, I feel like this might be the definitive version of this game. So it's not just this is a game that we're putting on the Switch 2 now. It's no. This has an English dub. This has new content, actually. It's got new like cutscenes and everything. It's got like online stuff. They took the game that was already out, that's been out for years at this point, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna bring it to the Switch 2, but let's make it so it's something that people will actually want to buy, as opposed to just Mass Effect 3 Wii U edition, which was Mass Effect 3 with, hey, now you can see a map on the fucking screen controller thingy, whatever the fuck it was. It just adding kind of that gimmick on top of something that was already there. You know what I mean? But one more, because I think the GameCube launch lineup is goated, but I could be wrong.
Not bad. Alrighty, so just for North America, because I cannot read the Japanese launch titles.
Yep.
We have All-Star Baseball 2002, Batman Vengeance, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2, Madden 2002, NHL Hits 2002, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Super Monkey Ball, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Oh, wow. Actually weaker than I kind of thought it was. But, I mean, the third-party games, incredible.
Yeah.
Super Monkey Ball 2, you said?
Super Monkey Ball.
The first one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one. Yep.
Still good.
You got Super Monkey Ball, you got Rogue Squadron 2, which I think may have been a GameCube exclusive for a little bit. Or at least it launched, obviously, with the console. I think that was the day it came out as well. But yeah, and this isn't something with the Switch 2. I just think nowadays launch lineups are very much, and this goes back to like 5 years ago with the Xbox Series and the PS5. You had one or two, probably just one big hitter. And then it was, look at all these games that you've maybe been playing or maybe missed the last few years that look and play a lot better now. You know,
Totally. And I mean, that was still the case even today, where we're still getting like PS4 games that are being made. So it's like every game that was still being made in that first launch year of PS5 was still a PS4 game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're still getting new games that are coming out for the PS4 and the Xbox One is, I don't want to say it's silly, you know, because that does sound, we're very privileged to the point where we can just, there's a new console, we can grab it when it comes out, we can play whatever. But it almost seems like we're still in that last generation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Is Bonanza only on the Switch too?
I think so, but they did show off in the Direct that you can game share with the Switch 1 to where they can play with that co-op mode.
Okay.
Where like you know how they showed off the co-op with Pauline?
Yeah.
You can get, and then they added recently the game share where you can like send a virtual card or whatever to a friend or whatever. I think you can share that to someone on a Switch 1 because I think that's all cloud anyways. When you share a game like that, I think it's all cloud, so you can actually play with someone on the Switch 1, but I don't think it's coming out for the Switch 1.
Yeah, like it is going to be a Switch 2. Sad, is that what you're looking up right now?
Hmm.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, the case, I guess, the game case, nice and red.
You like
logo
it?
on top looks like shit.
Yeah,
That's
terrible, man. I hate it. I hate them.
I'll say that right now. Yeah, that's what. It's just a giant bar of red.
Disgusting.
Do something with it. Come on.
Okay.
Give me a horizontal logo, at least. Come on. Get your head out of your ass, Nintendo.
Anyway, yes, Bonanza will support game share, so you can play with PAL on another system, even if that other system is a Switch 1. Of course, this will only work in local game share.
Okay.
Local game share.
Yep.
So, I guess I'm trying to remember how local even works, because you're not running the game natively on local, right? Are you still sharing the game?
Yeah. So I wonder if the local game share is just like on the same, obviously probably on the same network.
Yeah, but and then is it sharing the game like a remote play with PlayStation or something like that?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Let's see. Local. Nintendo Switch 2 can share compatible games with anyone on Switch 2. Okay, naturally, Nintendo's not going to explain how this shit works, but probably why the fuck would they? But yeah, no, you do have to be within proximity because I think it's going to be operating off the
Okay.
NFC capability. So, yep.
Makes
so
sense.
as long as you're near each other,
yeah, and that's just kind of that multiplayer with somebody being Pauline and just probably throwing shit at the ground.
Yeah, I know that's exactly it. They're throwing rocks or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game looks really fun. I wasn't really sold on it until this, like the bigger deep dive that they did, last month, or like earlier this month or something. And it just looks like it looks just fun. That's it, like straight up fun. Like, hey, this might be the thing that kind of shows you what this new console can do, more than Mario Kart World. And I mean, speaking of Mario Kart World, how are you liking World? Because I see the banana peel behind you, so I'm assuming you've played other Mario Kart games in the past.
Yeah, like I said, the earliest game that I could probably remember is Mario Kart 64.
Yeah,
but I have played all of them since then, and it's just the game series that when I jump into it, I just can't not have fun, right?
Yeah.
So looking forward to this game on new hardware, it was a really special moment for me, and I had a lot of expectations going into this new game, this new Mario Kart series that we haven't had since 2013, because
they haven't had to make a new one. It's
yeah, exactly.
like,
It's been selling like hotcakes,
and still,
they can get away with it. So like me being like a massive fan of Mario Kart, I had a lot of expectations going into the new one. In terms of how I wanted it to feel, just being a diehard fan. Like, I want my Mario Kart to feel like this. And I feel like it's doing something so different that I still kind of have to wrap my head around. Whereas with 8, they kind of like perfected the formula. Mm-hmm. And I think they did 8 so well that they had to do something different for this new iteration of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And I'm having a great time. I have my qualms with it, but I'm still having a great time with it.
Let's tell Nintendo what they fucked up on.
It's hard to narrow it down because of just how complex it is. I think looking at it now, it could be a little overwhelming, or we just simply don't understand it because the systems that they've added into this new version offer so much variety in how you play the game that me talking about it now is probably not going to be how I'm going to talk about it 6 months from now, because I'm going to learn some new shortcut, or I'm going to get really good at wall riding or riding rails and tricking off of them. But it's just kind of frustrating, especially. And I probably did this to myself, but leading up to the Switch 2, I was playing a lot of Mario Kart 8. So I kind of used that as, my gauge for what I was expecting from this new iteration. And like I said, 8 kind of perfected that formula where it had that sense of speed, it had style, it had great tracks, many tracks. Let's not forget the Booster Pass course or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it just really just checked off all the things I could have wanted from a Mario Kart. And this one kind of just changes all that up entirely, where you're introducing 24 racers, and that in of itself completely changes up the game that Mario Kart is, because you immediately add more items on the track. To compensate for that amount of riders, the tracks are wider, and as a result of that, there's more straightaways that don't really have a lot going on. The corners aren't as sharp, so you're not feeling like that apex turn of getting like, knowing your line, kind of like in Forza or any other hard racing sim. And that's kind of funny talking about it like that for a Mario Kart game. But I think what 8 did best is that if you knew how to play 8, you knew how to play 8. Like, that game had such a tiny, like, skill gap where if you're either playing the party game or you're playing the racing game.
Yeah.
That if you knew your lines, you were going to be...
You're unstoppable.
You're breezing by everyone. And this game, it's like, no matter what you know about the tracks, it feels like you're going to get hit by some item because there's 24 people with items. And that makes for a good party experience. But that kind of takes away from the whole karting racing experience, which I don't think is necessarily a problem for myself. I just think that they're just two different types of games. Yeah. And you kind of have to either acknowledge that or kind of just stick with one. Either just don't go to Mario Kart World and just stick with 8, or be like, I want something new and I want to go to World and play it, because it plays great. It looks great. It sounds great. The soundtrack is astounding. All right. You're going to hear a track once and you're going to be like, oh my God, that's a remix of some Mario game 20 years ago, and then you're not going to hear it for another 40 hours because there's 200 other tracks that remix constantly playing at any other time. And it's just like, damn, I really want to hear that. And there's no music player, but yeah, the soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah, I know the soundtrack has been getting obviously rave reviews everywhere. Every review is like, we have this problem and this problem, this problem, but holy fuck, that soundtrack is incredible. And what you said about I think you hit the nail on the head of the nail on the coffin, whatever. This cart or world feels like a party game. And it's, the functionality is there, and the actual kart racing feel, cool. I hate the controls. I still hate the controls. Let me just do this. Triggers. Come on, Nintendo. Once again, get your head out of your fucking ass. Let's do this.
For like gas.
Yeah.
For like acceleration and brake.
You know? But as the races that I've done, like the knockout tours and everything.
Yeah.
I've heard, and even myself, like, have just been, you're having a good time, and you're doing well, but now there's a shell, and now there's another shell, and now there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's just so much shit going at you. So you're in third place, and you're doing well, and you feel like, okay, I'm good. And all of a sudden, you're in last place because the timing of everybody getting their things and 23 other players getting their items is just making it a little too chaotic, I would say, for it to be. I wonder if they're even worrying about any sort of competitive league as opposed to just, hey, yeah, it's 24 players playing Mario Kart having fun. You know, whereas Mario Kart 8 feels like they're dialing in that kart racing feel and that competitive feel. And now World is just like, oh yeah, go ahead and drive around and look at the people are walking, go hit them. You know, join up with 23 other people and throw shells at each other. You fucking idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wonder if maybe Mario Kart World is the Forza Horizon to the Forza.
I've seen the comparisons. I feel like I could make that myself, especially when you're in the open world aspect.
Yeah. And the open world
feels like it.
Definitely leaves something to be desired, you know. It's fun.
Yes,
it's good
totally
to drive around, but yeah, it is kind of sparse.
Yeah.
All right, Sad. Did you play 8? Mario Kart 8?
Nope. Mm-mm.
About Mario Kart 7?
Nope.
What's 6? I don't know if that's. I don't think that's what they were called. I
think 6 is Wii.
Wait, but no, 8 was 8, or 8 was Wii U.
Yeah, and then 7 was 3DS.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh goddamn. Why is only one of them numbered? Like,
yeah,
because it's circle. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I
the
just
infinity.
answer my own question. I mean, with World, what do you think would? And I hate to even say this term because I don't think it's broken, but what do you think would fix it? Or what do you hope comes out for it?
I don't think there's anything that you can really do to fix it. I think the game itself works in the way that it was designed to, and I think that's just something that we have to accept. I think that's they crafted a game, and there's so many tours, the knockout tours I've played in Grand Prix that have had that rubber band effect that makes the game compelling as a party game. And if you go into that with the mindset, then I think that's the game. They did it. They did exactly what they needed to do, and it works exactly like that. I don't think there's much that you can really fix about that, because if you do, you're inherently changing the game for what it is. The biggest problem I have, like I said, was kind of the tracks. I think the tracks are kind of unmemorable, like 8 tracks are, because there's more straightaways. The track itself are wider, so you're not getting like that same cinematic twists and turns like you got from 8 or even Wii and Double Dash, because it's compensating for that 24 player spacing. So there's a couple tracks that definitely stand out to me, but I think inherently the game is what it is and it works. I think it still works, and there you can't change it. You can't change it now. You can maybe like tweak like the percentage of how common you can pull 3 red shells while being in second place or something like that. But the only thing that I can look forward to for the future is simply DLC. I want to see how they handle it. Most importantly,
what's your like dream
islands?
DLC? Like, do you want new racers? Do you want new modes?
Unless they came up with like a new creative mode, like they did with Knockout Tour, which by the way is incredible. I don't think I need a new mode. The game is fine. If you add more tracks, that immediately just makes the game feel inherently fresh, because not only do you potentially add it to a world in which we can explore freely, you also then add it to a Grand Prix that could be connected to previous tracks, or with Knockout Tour also, it could be all connected in some way that, makes the game feel fresh, even with new tracks. Like you're getting so much more for if it's 1 pre at a time, or 2 pre's, however they did with the booster pass course. I think they did like 2 pre's at a time.
Was it just like it was just tracks though, wasn't it? Or did they come in like a pre, like kind of that whole thing? Or
they would do. It was either like 1 or 2 pre's at a time.
Okay.
And so then like 4 or 8 tracks in total. But if they add a pre to Mario Kart World as DLC, does that pre, is it connected? In the Grand Prix? Is it connected in a Knockout Tour?
That's what I was
to the other things.
That's more of what I was thinking. Like a different mode is that instead of adding on to this open world, like, hey, we've got 4 new tracks that are, pulled from older games, but the only way to play them is so just you race on the track and then you're done. You come back, and then you can do the pre's. That's more of like the other mode that I was thinking of, if that would make sense, because trying to fit older things into this new world that you have might not be the play. It might just feel like you're putting old shit on new shit.
Right.
But being able to play those, like maybe an older map, now it's it's a bit wider, or even it's the same, but there's 24 fucking players. That adds that's a whole new dimension of these maps. But DLC characters, who do you want? And why is it Spawn?
We're going non-Nintendo?
I don't know. I was thinking DLC characters, and then my mind went to Soul Calibur 2, and then my mind went to Spawn from the Xbox version.
If that's the case, Diddy, but not the monkey.
Oh, god damn it. He's in jail, or he's going to be in jail. I think.
Probably.
Yeah. Diddy Kong is never coming back. I'm sorry.
He's dead. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But no, so I mean, would DLC characters appeal to you? Just other Nintendo characters, even? Because I know that Link was in. Link, and I think Zelda wasn't.
He was in 8. It was Link, and then the Inkling, the squid people from
Splatoon,
Splatoon, and then Isabelle and a villager.
They're in Mario Kart?
Because there was, because then they had the Animal Crossing map.
Oh shit! I remember that they were added to Smash.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that they're, and maybe it's because there's these other, like there's the Sonic Kart Racer, and there are some other things that are very similar, but I'm a little surprised that Mario Kart World isn't, or just the Mario Kart franchise, I guess, isn't kind of treated the same way as like a Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
where like you look at Ultimate, and there's characters from fucking everywhere, which seems
that's
like
what I want. That's my dream game.
Yeah,
Like just a Super Smash Kart. Just get tracks from Zelda, Metroid, just everywhere. Get those ones in.
The dream game that you want is now called Sonic Racers Uniworld.
Yeah.
I forget what's the Crossworlds.
Crossworlds. That's it.
Crossworlds. Yeah. It's got fucking Joker from Persona. It's got Ichiban Kasuga from Like a Dragon. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
And Sonic's in there too. That's cool. It's got Steve. Yeah. He's there.
Okay. Are they getting the SpongeBob as well? The SpongeBob treatment?
Yeah, they announced like I think there's a map, and then I'm pretty sure it's just SpongeBob as a racer.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Cool. It's either SpongeBob or SpongeBob and like Patrick or something. But yeah, SpongeBob is a racer. And then there's going to be a SpongeBob map and obviously car.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah, that seems like and like I said, maybe he dropped off. Hold on.
Oh,
We'll get him back momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us?
Sorry about that. I don't know. My Discord just decided to just disconnect, I guess.
Yeah.
You good?
That's fine. Yeah, we were. Oh my God! Is there a dog behind you?
Yeah.
Aw. Hi, puppy.
Hey, Paparonski.
Oh
my God.
Oh, no, noodle.
Oh.
This is Ripley.
Hi, Ripley.
Hi, puppy.
Ripley, you're perfect in every single way. Okay. Oh, Ripley, we love you. Go hang out on the bears blanket there.
Yep. Bear down.
All right. Let's do this really quick because your boy kind of has to pee. Let's take a quick break. Mike, we actually have a little video that we're gonna play from one of our streamer friends. Because we said last week, hey, if you've got like a video just kind of promoting your streams and everything, send it to us because we'd love to put those in as kind of quote-unquote ad breaks. And we've got one. So,
Hooray!
Yeah, it's incredible. So check out our friend Charisma right now.
If your life needs some charisma,
Let's go, girl.
and all the dad jokes are free, dad jokes are free. Someone asking you
really
about
sending
your
me
day.
Go break.
Be an extra cringy. Oh no. Talking like
I had to do it
Kermit,
for the
giving
people.
you it's a
Jesus
gameplay.
fuck.
Oh.
Hey now, what you say now? About to put it down. Yeah, you wanna chat with the brain
There's your
now?
collar.
Get a tier 1 today now? Cause every day is a 10 now. Yo, here we go.
That's so Brayden. All the milk that he can drink. That's so Brayden.
Yeah, you eat it with the red stuff on. I like that.
That's
Correct.
so Brayden. Prime subscription is for free. That's so Brayden. He's only 3 for 3. Yeah.
Yep, that's me. There you go. Is that what you want?
All right, and we are back. Just talking about murders in Chicago. You know, apparently they go hand in hand. And hot dogs. Who knew?
Who would have thought?
Hot dogs, murder, pizza-flavored casserole. The Chicago story. Am I wrong there?
No, that's pretty spot on.
No, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
who am I to really impugn the most apt description of deep dish pizza?
All right, so Happy, have you tried out the game chat?
I have not actually.
Okay.
I just don't see myself really. Even with the Switch 1, I never, almost ever used any multiplayer feature. Then again, it wasn't
You
that
didn't
accessible.
have much. Yeah.
Yeah. But I am curious because I have a couple friends that are kind of all over the place in the country. So I am a little curious of trying out the camera just to fuck around, really.
Yeah.
It looks like a fun time to get the camera playing Mario Kart and just seeing friends pass by or
See their
whatever.
dumb faces
But
just looking at you.
also with Mario Party. I'm a big Mario Party
Yeah. Yeah.
boy. And if I can, see my friends' faces while playing Mario Party across the country, that could be cool. But yeah, no, I haven't tried it. I am also curious myself because in all of the promotion for the Switch 2, when they every time they showed off the camera ability in the game chat functionality of any game, it always looked like it was 480 10 frames a second. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I should probably really test it out, but
So-
it doesn't make it look like you want to.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here, as you can see on the screen now, people watching the podcast, but I'm sharing my thing here with you as well. Our friend over at the Comfy Spot, he did a Switch 2 kind of review, just like we're doing here. Tyler Miller over at the Comfy Spot, he sent a blue sky out and he's like, hey, I'm doing my Switch 2 review. Anybody out there want to jump onto game chat for me so I can get some like footage so we can kind of test it out for the review? So I was like, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything today, let's do it. So I did check out the game chat, not with a camera. So I want to just kind of paint the picture of my setup. I play all my games out in my living room. I'm sitting on my couch, and the TV is about 9-10 feet away on the wall. Okay? It's a living room. And my Switch 2 is on the entertainment center right in front of the TV. Okay, so with the game chat, we're testing it out first to see how it worked, and to see how it sounded with me being so far away, kind of so far away. It's not crazy, but still, as opposed to maybe holding the console right here next to my mouth because there's the built-in microphone. So Tyler, in his review, we're talking about it a little bit, and I recorded my video and sent it to him. So you can kind of see both sides of what I was seeing and then what he was seeing. But yeah, the screen share down there, I think 480 is like pushing it.
Like I was talking to.
Also, before we jump into this, Tyler refers to me as Rob. No, thank you. Don't do that. It's Robert. Okay.
Directly into the mic.
How is Yakuza, by the way? Is it your first time playing it, or did you play it already on the other consoles?
This is my first time really playing this one.
Okay.
I played maybe 2-3 hours of it on Xbox.
Okay.
But look, I don't want to read. I need an English dub.
That's totally fair.
Nintendo also claimed that the microphone would cancel.
Yeah, so I don't know if you could hear the audio there. It came through?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, me speaking, so when Yakuza's on the screen, that's my gameplay. That's my screen. So you can hear Tyler that way.
I sit about 1 to 2 feet away from my Switch 2 when it's docked, and he said I sounded like I was talking directly into the mic.
How is Yakuza, by the way? Is it your first time playing it, or did you play it already on the other consoles?
This is my first time.
So this is what he was hearing when I was about 10
one.
feet away.
Okay.
I played maybe 2-3 hours of it on Xbox.
Okay.
But look, I don't want to read. I need an English dub.
But you can see the gameplay down on the bottom.
That's totally fair.
Nintendo also claimed that the microphone would cancel out most, if not all, background noise and isolate your voice during chats, And from this brief test, they weren't wrong. I played some music off my phone, and Rob said he could somewhat hear
Robert.
it when I spoke, but only when I spoke and only because he was trying to listen for it. At one point, his garage door opened and another person came into the room, but the only reason I was made aware that those things happened was because he told me, not because I heard them. The other pillar of game chat is the ability to share your screen and camera with everyone else in the party.
You can see that.
We didn't test the camera side of things, but Rob and I shared our screens, and it's exactly as
Robert.
Nintendo advertised it. Your game continues to run and look perfectly fine on your primary display, but runs at a significantly lower frame rate in the shared display. Is it funny to see? Sure, but if I had to choose between my game running worse and the shared display looking a bit worse, I'd take the latter every day. Nintendo has notoriously made communicating with...
Yeah, so yeah, we did the game chat because I also wanted to test it out to see how it felt and see how it was. And I will be completely honest, it blew any expectation I had for it out of the water. You know, this is just like a couple of clips here. This is just from the two of us doing it and everything for a little bit. I was expecting it to, especially how far away I sit from the console. I was expecting myself to sound super faded and like, you know, far away from it. But no, it sounded like you know, not the best mic in the world, but it's like, oh yeah, you can definitely hear that person and understand them. And I was speaking about the same volume that I'm speaking right now. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing it felt like the game chat felt like something that, one, would be cool if you're playing multiplayer, and two, it almost felt like a much better version of like Discord, sharing your screen and chatting with your friends as you're playing, because you can kind of see what they're doing as well, but and the audio is clear to being able to hear them. Yeah, I didn't know what I was expecting with it, but I was almost blown away with how well it worked.
Yeah, no, it's super cool when they can deliver on something like that, because when we all watched the trailer or the direct, we're all like, all right, come on. Nintendo, really? They haven't done anything with any type of party system almost ever. And they're kind of promising a lot in terms of using the built-in microphone of the console as an actual microphone, sitting 10 feet away with your sound coming out of your TV right next to it. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I was, like I said, it sounded. I had my game audio. My game audio, to be fair, I typically don't keep my audio too loud. I will typically have I'll be playing something on my TV, and then I have my laptop right here, and I've got like a YouTube video playing or something, unless I'm in the middle of like a scene and I have to hear like dialogue and stuff like that. But yeah, all of my audio comes out of a sound bar that's just right behind where my Switch 2 is.
Right.
So that's even closer than, you know, coming out of the TV. It's like it's right there. And you couldn't hear the game audio coming through on my end. You weren't hearing Tyler kind of bleed through on my end. Once again, in the middle of us doing this, my spouse came home and opened the garage door, and our garage door is right underneath the living room, and it's loud as fuck in the living room because I didn't want to spend the extra $100 for the quiet one. I feel like an asshole now. But yeah, I was like, hey, did you hear that? And Tyler was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, my garage door just opened super loud. That come through. And he's like, no, it didn't. I didn't hear it. And what he said about, you know, he was playing music, and the only reason I could hear it is because I was listening for it. He was like, hey, let me play some music from my phone as I'm talking and let me know. And as he was talking, I could kind of hear it bleed through a little bit, but then when he stopped talking, nothing. But once again, it was just because I was listening for that extra stuff, so I'm not even sure if I would have heard it. But the game chat, honestly, was crazy. How well it worked from Nintendo, because Nintendo's not the online party chat people.
No,
it was there were steps to get it set up. You have to have a cell phone and have a QR code and kind of do all this stuff and get everything set up that way.
The whole setup for the console in general. I feel like I scanned a QR code 4 times in the night that I unboxed my Switch. So it's just 2-step verification for everything.
Yeah. Which isn't,
Even
it's not the
buying a
worst
game.
thing. It's not, it's not terrible. It's good for safety, but still, it was, they're very much like, oh yeah, QR codes. That's our future. That's us.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk your hopes for the future of the Switch 2. Okay. And what you want to see from this, what games, features, anything like that. Maybe something that's even not announced. What are you hoping to see out of the Switch 2 in its life cycle?
I guess I'm just looking forward to consistent releases. In an era of gaming where we're waiting years for every PlayStation title, how many exclusives have we gotten on the PS5? True exclusives. Like 2 or 3.
There was a remake of The Last of Us 1.
Yeah, do we want to cut that one?
No.
Right. So
there was the DLC for Horizon 2.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, not a lot.
But when we're constantly disappointed by like what even is an exclusive or when we're going to see the next iteration of something, I think Nintendo has proven that they are able to pump these games out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we already talked about, there's still 4 games that are scheduled for this year that don't have a release date, so we'll see if they actually even come out this year. But it still gives us something to look forward to. Yeah, it's Pokemon, Dragon Drive. What was the other one? Oh, Metroid Prime 4 and Kirby Air Riders.
But I think Pokemon has a release date.
Does it officially?
I thought it did. I thought they announced it was like November.
I thought it was. Yeah, I don't know.
I could be wrong.
What is it? It's ZA, right?
Yeah, Pokemon Legends ZA.
Is it October now?
October 16th, 2025.
October 16th.
Yeah, so that one
takes up the October spot, but what are they going to do for August and September? And then are we still getting Kirby Air Riders? Are we getting a Mario game this year? That's the other thing.
You would have announced, you would have just teased a Mario game. If you had a 3D or even a 2D Mario game, you would have just at some big, hey, there's a Switch 2 coming out, there would have just been a fucking like silhouette and his dumb fucking laugh, and you're like, oh, that's a new Mario game.
Do you want to do that before Donkey Kong?
No, but
do you want to
it would be expected.
Have all focus on Donkey Kong?
It would be expected. Mario is Nintendo. Nintendo is Mario. So just the announcement of, yes, we're working on a new Mario game. Maybe it's not coming out this year, maybe it's not coming, but hey, yes, there's a Switch 2 exclusive Mario title.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, a laugh, Switch 2 logo, that's it. That's not, I don't think that would take away necessarily from like a Bonanza. If they came out and they're like, oh, this is what the new Mario game is going to be whenever it comes out. No. But just a tease saying, hey, we're working on it. We would have seen that by now. Especially if it would be coming out this year.
I just think that they have a lot coming out in the next couple of months that really are not sealed in place besides Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah.
We're getting Donkey Kong in a couple of weeks. What's happening in August? What's happening in September? What's happening in December? I mean, Kirby Air Riders. That game is notoriously. If you know anything about Kirby Air Ride, that game was pumped out very fast. Mm-hmm. Like Sakurai jumped in and kind of just turned that game around real quick. And I feel like that's probably the direction that they would want to go in, because it's not necessarily like the most flagship game that they could possibly sell on a new product. Like, it's Kirby Air Riders. It's a sequel to a racing game, to the racing game that was in the shadows of every other racing game that was on GameCube, including Mario Kart and F-Zero. And I love Kirby Air Ride, so don't get me wrong. Kirby Air Ride, I'm looking forward to that game so much. But the fact that we're having this conversation is exciting enough when, like I said, we look at the PlayStation lineup. Besides Ghost of Yote or whatever, what else do we have to look forward to from PlayStation in the next year? I don't think we're getting anything from Insomniac.
No.
Unless they're going to surprise us with Wolverine finally.
I think Wolverine at the earliest is 2020, like late 2026.
I would say fall.
Yeah, I would love to be wrong about that. I think the earliest that we see Wolverine again is the Game Awards this year. And that's not going to have a goddamn launch date or release date or anything like that.
I wouldn't think so either. Well, it's definitely not going to be in the spring, because there's one game that's already taken up that shit.
You're right. Kirby Air Riders. And the Dusk Bloods. No. Yeah, that is Nintendo. Like I said, I think that their launch window is phenomenal. We have names, we have games that we can look forward to. We don't know the exact dates for everything, but they're like, hey, yeah, these are 2025 games. Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I just think the launch date games outside of Mario Kart World, lackluster.
Totally.
Yeah.
I like looking at the Switch One lineup. Maybe I'm missing something, but I felt like I got the Switch One the day one, and I had Breath of the Wild. It was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I didn't really get any use out of my Switch One until October 27, when Mario Odyssey came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was what, March to October. There was a big break in that. So the fact that I might have something to look forward to almost every month is really exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't think you see a lot of people doing that right now, except for Xbox has been having kind of an incredible year. I mean, we had a lot
Xbox
of things.
has been having a fucking Jekyll and Hyde year. There's shitload, like there's cool ass games that are finally coming out that they've been talking about for a long time, and then every other month,
and then
we're
the worst
laying off
news
thousands
possible.
of people.
Yeah.
We're laying off. I mean, and once again, that's Microsoft is laying off 9,000 people, but how many of those are coming from Xbox? Probably a lot. And
yeah,
it's heartbreaking.
And it's from like every studio too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Even like the Halo studio.
It's that thing where, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, Phil Spencer's job is hard. No, but whatever. But it probably is super. It's probably frustrating on his part, where this dude he's a gamer, and there's people that are like, no, he's not. Like, this dude's a game. He plays games. He loves games. We know that. But if you're in that situation where you're the head of one part of an organization, and your boss is like, get rid of so and so many people, like it's almost impossible to be like, who can we get rid of? What games can we cancel without any sort of blowback? And there's no right answer.
Yeah. I mean, it's you're probably looking at you're going over to see whatever they've done with Perfect Dark, and you're realizing, oh, we've spent this X amount of money and this is clearly not coming together, then yeah, it probably does make sense to cut that game when they have nothing and they've spent that much money. It sucks.
It's awful,
it's
and
right.
it's terrible, and you would hope. I mean, you would fucking think that a company like goddamn fucking Microsoft understands, okay, this development isn't working. Yes, scrap that game. But obviously they know what let's scrap that, do something else. Make us something else that will make money. If this isn't going to make money, make me something that'll make money. But instead of that, that's not going to make me money. Well, then go fuck yourself, because I want to put $80 billion into AI.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, one thing that's a kind of a different topic.
Right. A little off topic there.
There's been a lot of talk about this, like these Microsoft cuts, and I've seen people that online that a lot of, like, you've got this it's 2025. Fucking let go of the goddamn console wars. Okay?
Right.
Xbox laid off a shitload of people. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck Microsoft for doing that. Fuck Microsoft for, supporting a genocide in Palestine and Gaza. That doesn't make your PlayStation a better thing. You shouldn't be happy that so many people have lost their jobs. It sucks. There's 9,000 people that were laid off from Microsoft. That means 9,000 people aren't getting paid. That means 9,000 families potentially aren't getting money. Like, if you're happy about that, go fuck yourself. But Nintendo.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it would have been fucking hilarious if they're like, hey, Phil, you've got to lay off a bunch of people. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. And then he put out that article saying, we had all of these games, and we're going to miss all these people, and we've been working on this stuff all, and everybody's been working hard, and it's heartbreaking. Would have been great if he's like, yeah, I didn't want to fucking do this shit. This isn't my choice. I want to play Everwild. I want to play the new Perfect Dark. I can't. These fucks above me are telling me to fire people. But obviously that would never happen. And
it feels like he's just a pawn now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to do all the dirty work. He's got to be the bad guy. He's got to be the face of Xbox.
Yeah. And once again,
he's a show pony now.
It's not, oh, Phil Spencer is so innocent. No, he's still a CEO. He still had to make the decisions. But with a company like Microsoft, it definitely does seem like Microsoft is getting to the point where they're like, hey, Xbox, what the fuck are you doing? And who's the head of Xbox? I mean, I don't think it's actually Phil Spencer anymore. I think it is. Is it Sarah Bond? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah.
Nintendo.
I played Fallout 76 with Phil Spencer once.
Really?
By that I mean I was in the same world as Phil Spencer, and I made my character do the bow to him. Because I thought it'd be funny. He did not reply or respond. So
that's pretty cool.
It was the there's a Mothman in Fallout 76. There's an emote where you praise the Mothman. You just kind of get on your knees and you're like, ah, like a weird cultist. So I did that because I thought it was funny. But Nintendo. Can I tell you my biggest disappointment with the Switch 2 launch?
No.
I'm going to tell you. You know what didn't come out on the Switch 2 at launch? Metaphor ReFantasia. Where the fuck is it?
Oh, is that Metaphor? I can't really see.
Where's Metaphor? Where the fuck is Metaphor? That's a perfect goddamn launch title for the fucking Switch 2.
That'd be
Where
great.
the fuck is it, Atlas? Give me that shit. You give me this, and it's perfect. I get it. Yeah,
like
it's great.
Dunk. Also, Clair Obscure. Where's that game at?
Clair Obscure. That would have been a fucking perfect thing to be like, yes, the Switch 2 can do this game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You give me a game from the most recent console gen that works. I mean, yeah, they announced Elden Ring. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Cyberpunk 2077 came out, and by all reports, runs great, and it's awesome on the Switch too. But a Clair Obscur, like that single player, just beautiful game. You couldn't get that one? Can that not run on the Switch too? You know?
I would imagine it would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you come out and
It
you're like,
runs
hey,
on the
yeah,
Steam Deck.
maybe it's not a launch title. Maybe it's not a launch, like, day game. But Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is coming to the Switch too. Fuck yeah. I'll buy that shit on the Switch too and play it again.
I would like to see in this new generation, I guess, even though it doesn't really feel like it. I want to see the sports series get treated well. So I feel like
So do you mean like the Wii Sports or like the EA?
No, like the Mario Sports, because
Okay.
we got a tennis, we got a golf, we got a soccer, we got strikers, but all of them were kind of felt like they were missing a lot. They felt very bare bones. We also haven't gotten a sluggers recently. We haven't gotten this in a while.
I mean, they just put
Yeah.
Mario Strikers from the GameCube on the...
I've been
Online.
jumping into that lately,
Yeah.
and I've been having a fun time with that. Yeah, and then I go back in and I try out whatever. I can't even remember what they call the newest one, because Charged was the one on the Wii,
I know.
and then it was something else ridiculous.
Was it
and
like
that-
Supercharged?
Probably.
Sad.
It's
Can you
probably
look that
something.
up? There was a Switch 1 Mario Strikers that I bought and didn't even
too.
open because I saw all the reviews and I saw my friends that bought it that were super excited for it that hated it, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
Mario Strikers Battle League.
Battle
Battle
League.
League.
Okay. Yeah.
See, even that's a terrible name.
Yeah.
It sounds like the first iteration of Rocket League.
Speaking of, is Rematch on the Switch too?
That's a good question. That feels like it could be a good game.
That'd be a fucking great game for the Switch too. Is Rocket League on the Switch? I think it was a Switch game, so I think you can play it on the Switch.
It was on the Switch. What about Marvel Rivals with the mouse support?
The Rematch dev says it'd be, quote, great to support the Switch 2.
But
Doesn't look
oh,
like...
that's it. That's all he said. It would be great.
Jesus Christ. Somebody's getting paid by the fucking word on this one.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Let's see. Focusing on optimizing the game so the largest possible range of hardware can be supported, which includes handheld PCs like Steam Deck. This is a constant effort to ensure that the game has the best possible performance across a large number of platforms. So, doesn't look like it is coming anytime soon. They are focused on just making it run right everywhere that it currently is.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, they probably should focus on that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Happy, I've got a question for you.
What's up?
Have you licked a Switch 2 cartridge?
I have not, and I'll tell you what, I don't even have one.
Piece of shit.
I didn't pick up any other game. I've actually, because what I was looking forward to most with the Switch 2 was actually going back and playing
Oh, yeah.
the
God.
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So come Switch 2 nights, I only got the bundle, which infamously didn't come with a cart.
Those are my... I don't know how to focus on those.
Put your hand behind it.
There we go. Smash Ultimate, Pokemon Scarlet, and that's just Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Are those Switch 2 carts though?
No, these are just Switch ones. They're just
Okay,
they just have
that's
it
what
here
I
right in
thought.
front of me.
I was like,
Yeah, the Switch 2 cart. I think I could. I hope I saved this before I pop this out of the console.
how do they taste?
Not good. I tried it. That is one of the shorts on our YouTube. Is me licking this on night one. But yeah, it's the same thing, just red.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man, it's a weird
I don't know, but-
situation.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a game on them, and there's a game on some.
Yeah, the game
It's all weird.
card, the game key card. I get why people are upset. I don't get me wrong. I understand. I also can see it as this is what we've been getting with disc-based games for years now.
Right.
You know, doesn't make it
Day one
right.
Patches and everything.
Yeah, doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it okay. It's just like I'm used to this. But there are a few games that are coming out where you go to the store, you pick up the case to pay for it, and there isn't even a cartridge in there. There's just a download code.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, then why are we wasting all the fucking plastic to make this
Yeah.
thing for me to get a download code? And then what am I doing with, like, when I'm done playing Yakuza 0, I can put it in the case here, and there's a reason for this. Once I download the code from here, this is just fucking plastic for nothing. For me to have a case in my collection? You know, like, why? That's, for me, a bigger problem than the game key cards. But yeah. Yeah, the game key card, though, is, for those who don't realize, this is a cartridge that I put into my Switch 2, and instead of having the game on it, it just, basically this key card is my way to play this downloaded version of Yakuza 0.
Huh.
So I install the game completely on my Switch 2, and then I put this in there, and this is the, okay, yeah, that's legit, you can play this. That's pretty much what it is. You know?
Yeah, it's essentially just buying a game from the eShop, but with an extra step.
Yeah. But when I finish this, I can then trade it in. Which is not, I'm not going to get all the money back, but, it's still, it's quote unquote a physical game. But even though it's not, it's not. But, yeah. All right, let's get to wrap it up here. Happy? Happy, what are... Tell me your final wishes and kind of hopes and thoughts about the Switch 2 as we wrap up here.
I think it's kind of just going to go the same way that the Switch 1 really went. I think they're going to still push out the same content in the same way that they've been doing with the Switch 1. So all I can hope is that they stay consistent, because I think the Switch 1 did manage to deliver on franchises that we haven't seen in a while. We got a 2D Metroid game on the Switch. Come on.
Yeah.
We're getting sports titles again. We got several Mario parties again. Yeah, so I just want to see more of just all these other franchises be used in ways that we either haven't seen before, or they just get the consistent releases in an updated version of what we expect from them. I think it was cool seeing it again, a 2D Metroid on the Switch 1. If we could maybe see another one on the Switch 2, now that it's got some weight to it, it's sold well. Bring Metroid back entirely. We're getting Metroid Prime 4, Metroid in general, come back. Another Metroid 2D game. Animal Crossing. I think we can do another Animal Crossing pretty soon.
I'm so shocked that they didn't put anything out for Animal Crossing outside of there's a patch that makes it so that Switch 2 and Switch 1 owners can play together easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really fumbled on supporting that game. That game is add furniture, add clothes, add events. It could have been so easy, but no. Well, I guess I also can't complain because it's like you can also get like 200 hours out of that game. You'd be like, oh, why can't I play any more of it?
Yeah.
Is we put like 200 hours into it. Yeah, just I want the library to be consistent, and I think looking at the Switch 1 library, I think we're gonna see that carry over to this new generation. And on top of that, I think third-party support is also going to be right there with it. I'm pretty sure, Microsoft has talked about the Switch. I think we might be getting Call of Duty on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they already said the new Call of Duty's coming out on it. So
have they?
I think so.
I thought so too.
Or at least they've said Call of Duty is coming out on it. I don't know if they necessarily said Black Ops 17. I don't know what fucking game it is. Is it 7? Why?
It's on 7 now.
Why? Come on. Why?
They're going back, actually. Well, going back is kind of funny to say, but they're actually going to the future, which is kind of the past in terms of Black Ops lore. Because in Black Ops 3, it goes like 2050 or some shit like that. Black Ops 2 said 2025, and this new one is picking up after the events of Black Ops 2.
Happy. God damn it.
Hey, Black Ops 2 was fantastic. I can't complain.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Listen, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. I'm more of a Battlefield guy myself.
Oh, so you're gonna be one of the 100 million people to play the new Battlefield game?
That's right.
I'm
gonna be one of them.
Studio.
That's right.
God damn it.
That'll be me. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna be part of history. What do you mean? I'm gonna be part of the 100 million.
That is such a crazy story.
That's
ridiculous.
I'm
I'm there with you. I think if any, at this point, if there's any company that has a first party library that they actually will tap into and crush it with, it's going to be Nintendo. What I'm hoping for is more third party support and better third party support, because especially by the end of the Switch 1 era, I mean, you weren't getting your annualized Call of Duty, you weren't getting your annualized Madden or FIFA because the console just couldn't do it. And then even the first party Nintendo games were coming out and they were struggling. So I'm hoping that this new hardware will, one, let the Nintendo devs take their time to make top-notch games, give the fucking Pokemon Company and Game Freak more than 16 months to make a brand new Pokemon game.
Absolutely.
And give us the 3D world Pokemon RPG that we think that we can get. Look at fucking Pal World. Pal World looked so much better, ran better. There wasn't really the whole storyline, but still, like it's like you can do it in this kind of cartoony look. You can do it. But if you didn't have the power until now, yeah. While I'm very excited for all these upcoming first-party games that we've had, World and Bonanza and Metroid Prime 4, I think I'm much more excited to see what the future of Mario Kart is, and potential like Metroid Prime 5 or a new 3D Mario. Give these developers that have been making these incredible games on previous gens all this new power. Let's see what they come out with. And give them time to learn it, because obviously,
it takes time.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, that's my hopes. My biggest games on the Switch 1 were Animal Crossing, because of COVID. Everybody in my house bought a copy. We were just playing it because we couldn't leave. And then the Pokemon games. Scarlet Violet, and then Sword and Shield, Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was, in my opinion, incredible, one of the best Pokemon games ever made. And ZA, yeah, it's gonna be on the Switch 2, but that's not a Switch 2 game. I am so excited to see what the next Pokemon like mainline game on the Switch 2 is like.
Yeah. Should be special. Should be. You would hope so.
Should be special. Hopefully, just you take an extra year, take an entire extra year, and put every fucking Pokemon in that game.
Yep. Make it Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon.
Yeah. Because, like, what, Sword and Shield, they cut out a shitload of Pokemon. They're like, we just can't fit everything in there. There's so many now. Yeah, cool. All right, take your time. You've got space. Give us everything.
Yeah.
You know? What I think I'm hoping for in this generation, and I don't know if it's going to be the case, I'm hoping that Nintendo gives their developers the time to learn the hardware, and then to make games that actually do feel like they're next gen, not just prettier versions of previous gen. And Metaphor ReFantasia.
And OLED.
Yeah, I guess.
I could use OLED. I need that battery life to be better.
That's fair. That's
your
fair.
screen,
Yeah.
better
Like I said,
life.
I'm a dock player, so
yeah.
you know.
How's it looking in 4K?
I don't know. I'm playing 4K. No, so my TV can technically do 4K, but I have an HDMI like switch connected to it.
Got it.
Which it's from Amazon and it says it does 4K. It fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, 4K HDR, and then you go to any console, it's like, no, whatever you're plugging into doesn't have HDR, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me. But for me, I mean, it looks, Yakuza 0 looks like Yakuza. It runs great. I don't see like any stuttering or anything like that. Load times are pretty, when they happen, they're because I'm going to like a completely different map for the most part. But, you know, going from the street to a building where I go into is, you know, there's a black screen and then I come back up. You know? So the biggest load screens, like I said, are just getting into the game, and then if I'm switching actual maps. And switching in between chapters is another one. So I really did want to, I'm going to play, I haven't played Pokemon Scarlet. I played Violet and beat it, and then I put all of my Pokemon into Pokemon Home, and I was waiting for the Switch 2 to play Scarlet. I was thinking about starting it this week, but I'm still, you know, balls deep in Yakuza 0. So I have game ADHD. I can really only do one at a time. And this game is very long, and I just unlocked a brand new business minigame in this. I didn't realize there were two. And I just spent 20 hours playing the Kiryu business minigame, and now I just unlocked the Majima business minigame, and am going to be stuck in that. Those are characters from Yakuza, you two. I don't know if you realize that. Those are two of the main characters in this game. So, the Yakuza series goes back a long time. All right, Sad?
Yo.
Sad, what, outside of the price, what would it take for you to get a Switch 2?
Something that I can only play on there that I can't, like, play somewhere else. Because, I mean, right now it is...
as an exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, and not like a timed exclusive, like...
Yeah.
Something that only exists within the Switch universe. So, you know, like... Yeah, the idea of being able to pick up my Switch and then keep playing Cyberpunk as I'm out and about on my day it sounds great up here, but then actually doing it in practice, it's like, so yeah, I don't know. It just has to have some like real big, like an exclusive that gets me excited, which I'm not sure I'm going to get that
from Nintendo.
Yeah, especially if with Zelda they keep up with this weird fucking your items get damaged and break thing. Like, man, either let me repair it, let it last for more than 2 seconds, or just squash this whole thing. I can't. I am a 40-year-old man. I do not have time to go through all of the cool shit in my inventory, break it, and then try and beat something with a literal stick.
He is 30 or 40 years old. He does not have time for this.
You look at him and tell me there's a god.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah. It's
I'm kind of looking for, like, I love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm kind of hoping for the next Zelda whatever to kind of go back to a more linear route, if you want to call it, more open zone. Just something more akin to Ocarina or Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, something like that. Just kind of scale it down in scope. Just bring back that story with really well thought out dungeons and whatnot, and maybe not spend 7 years on a Zelda.
Look, I don't want to play Zelda, but if we get to 500 subs by the end of 2025, I will play Breath of the Wild live on my stream.
Let's juice those numbers, people.
Yeah.
Get them up.
I don't want to do it, but I want to hit 500 subs on YouTube. I want to hit 100 subs by the end of July. Can we do that?
12 away.
We're 12 away.
You can make this happen.
Let's hit 100 subs by the end of July, and then get another 400 in the next, 5 months. But by the end of July, let's hit 100, and Michael, take his pants off on camera. I don't know. Figure something out.
I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Exactly. Yeah, but this Friday, join us on my stream channel, twitch.tv/Mr_Hawks. Mike is coming to my house. Sad is coming to my house. We are playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 just all night. And little subathon. We'll have some sub goals. If we hit 100 subs, we are both going to drink a Gonster. If we every 15 subs, or every 10 subs, we finish whatever drink we're drinking. If you drop a 20 sub, we will open up a brand new beer and chug that thing down.
Probably need to get prepared for the trip, so let's do this.
So, every 15 subs, we'll finish whatever we're drinking. If it's brand new, that's a whole thing. If it's not, whatever. Every 20, if you gift a 20 bomb, we will open up a brand new drink and chug that shit. I can't say that it's going to be alcohol. I don't think we're allowed to sell subs for alcohol, so just drinks. No. But, I mean, what we're drinking. If we get to 100, Mike and I will both do a Gonster, which is Guinness and Monster Energy. If we hit 200 subs...
It sounds like a nightmare, but I love it.
If we hit 200 subs, I mean, we'll both drink 2 more Gonsters. So if we hit 200 subs, we'll be thinking 3 of those things.
I can feel the heart palpitations right now.
Yeah. So 100 subs, we each drink 1. At 200 subs, we drink 2 more each.
Oh.
Yep.
3 Gonsters.
Each. That's 6 Gonsters.
Too many.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
but
we might die. But that is Friday, July
11th.
11th. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I also, I have early access to Tony Hawk tomorrow.
On
the 8th. I'm not touching it until Friday.
Nice.
because I want to go and I played the demo, and I might play the demo a couple more times, just go through the Foundry level a couple more times just to, get back up on it. But I don't want to jump into the full game until Friday. So Friday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, twitch.tv/Mr_Hawks. Mike is going to be at my house. We're going to have a camera up on us playing the game. Maybe another friend or two. Not entirely sure yet. We'll know Friday afternoon.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, until then, Happy, tell people one more time where we can find you and what you're working on.
You can find me. I don't got really anything going on, but you can find me at Poogles Games pretty much anywhere. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. The only thing I've worked on recently is that Star Fox video, so go check that out if you want to.
Which once again is
Star Fox.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And once again, we will have the YouTube link down in the description below, so please go drop a sub. It's free. Drop a sub. Watch the Star Fox video. It's great. Happy did a ton of work on it, and it shows. It shows. Yeah, we will see you guys next week. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. We might do a little Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 review in progress next Tuesday. So, depends on if we have a guest. Kind of, we'll see you then.
Oh.
Who's to say? Who's to say? But Tuesday, July 15th, Discograph Podcast, Episode 1, Blink-182, is going to drop. Gage and I have been working on this for a few months now. It's very exciting. If you love music, you're going to enjoy it. It has nothing to do with video games, let me tell you that much, but it's just going to be a fun time. So we will see you then. Hopefully you can sub to that channel as well. And yeah, Happy, thank you so much for joining us. You are welcome to come back any goddamn time. Okay.
I would love to. Can't wait.
Yeah. Unless we're talking about Zelda, and then I'm not going to invite you because you seem to like it, and I don't want that.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
It's going to be a Zelda hate episode.
And
it's going to be me and no one else because I'm the only one that has this opinion. So
well, I look forward to battling that one out.
Yeah. Once again, we get to 500 subs by the end of the year. I'll play Breath of the Wild. I don't want to, but please do it. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.